and Coach McClendon wing, I feel like I've grown a lot coming from high school, coming in, learning the offense, and just being able to deal with all the adversity that's hit me.
Terry, how much was this about Coach setting him off on a note as well?
I mean, it was all about him and the seniors, and come in and get their 40th win, and to let him leave on a high note.
Terry, what kind of job have the coaches that have stuck around, and how have they done to keep everything moving forward for this game?
I mean, they've done a great job at practice. All the guys were out there having fun, flying around, going to the ball, and it showed up in the game. The coaches, they believe in all of us, so they give us the opportunity to go out there and make plays.
Coach, first team to hold Carl Nassib without a sack this year. Matter of fact, I think at a certain point early in the fourth quarter, he had not even had a half a tackle. How much did that mean to what you were able to do offensively?
Huge. I mean, he's such a disruptive guy. Their defensive front it really is effective and good. I think anytime that you have a great player, you would not be very smart to just disregard him. Just like any other great player that I think you go up against, you got to make sure that the game plan curtails, ways to kind of shake them up or take them out of the game, so to speak. So, like I said, it just goes in with everything else. The guys here just doing a great job of game planning, understanding kind of where he was going to be, tendencies that he may have had, and doing a good job of game planning around those.
And John said there were a couple times there were some chips and everything, but you really didn't do any double teaming.
No, we really didn't. Yeah, and a lot of those, a lot of great pass rushers, they anticipate snap counts and stuff well. So just as far as mixing up snap counts, where he's kind of second guessing himself and not getting off as fast, or mixing up different looks to where, okay, all right, having a guy line up over there where he thinks he's going to get a chip, so now he rushes a little bit different. So just understanding things like that, I think, is what helped too.
Just Brian, for logistically, what's your plan? How quick do you get Columbians change clothes?
Sure. Well, it's gonna be quick. It's gonna be quick. I'll say this: I'm gonna enjoy this tonight. I'm gonna enjoy this tonight. And so that's the plan. And after that, I'll kind of let it go from there.
Thank you.
Terry, you're only a bit sophomore, but how do you look at the receiving core without Malcolm and kind of your role in that?
I feel like the receiving core without Malcolm is going to be the same. We're just going to have more young players step up and fill in big shoes. And I feel like my role is going to be the same. We're going to help the team do whatever we can.
Thank you.
Coach, what can you say about how your defense hold performance today? I mean, obviously, a couple touchdowns late there, but 3 points in half.
Well, those guys have played well, just like they played all year. Done a great job of tackling overall. I mean, we knew those guys were going to be able to throw and catch very, very well. Obviously, after Hackenberg kind of went down, the other guy came in, and I mean, he was throwing in. I mean, I think the two touchdown catches. I mean, they were probably as good as throwing catches that you're gonna see. I mean, they were just right on the point. So, I mean, those guys, they just like I tell these guys, those guys are on scholarship too. Those guys get coached up very well too. Those guys are just as talented, as well. So, we understand that those guys are going to make plays, but as long as we can do everything that we can to kind of prevent that, and if you number those big plays, especially on a team like this, that gives you a better chance to win the game.
Brian, Keith, I know was stopped on the 4th down run. They had a couple of big pickups during that possession. Mm-hmm. And he made it through. You only using him and Sony throughout the whole game.
Sure.
Concern you have to kind of dip below that at some point in time.
Well, you have to be ready. You have to be ready. You got to be ready for kind of all of those situations. But really proud of those two guys being able to kind of shoulder the load versus a defense like this and kind of be as effective as they were. Just proud of those guys for doing that.
2 more questions.
Brian, you're going to be coaching against these guys this year. Have you given that any thought, and who do you like in that game?
I'll say this: just like any, and these guys know, just like any other week, where I'm working, they're going to get all I got. They're going to get all I got to do the best I can and make sure that my guys are ready to play. So just like I did with these guys, all my effort and energy will be in those guys. And I'm pretty sure these guys are gonna get a coach that where it's gonna be the exact same thing. You know, it's hard to get a bad coach here at the University of Georgia. It really is. You know, so those guys have nothing to worry about in that regard. And just like I said, I mean, Georgia was here way before I was here. He'll be here after I leave. So.
Apologies if it's been asked already. What were the difficulties in preparing for this game, given the circumstances that the program was going through?
It wasn't many. The biggest difficulties, in my opinion, you know, just kind of trying to oversee everything, was making sure that these, you know, guarding these guys' eyes and ears, so to speak, on what's being written out there. And so the receivers were kind of used to it all year long, because every meeting we start with some type of character ed where I kind of try to get the mind right, so to speak, for a few minutes. You know, whether I show them a short film, or, you know, read a quote, or, you know, read a short story or something to them. So I did that every day with the team. So we had a team meeting every single day, just focusing on why you work hard, or why you work together, or things like that. And those guys, they took to it. Those guys took to it and understood exactly why I was doing what I was doing. They understood, and I said this in the first meeting with those guys, that, you know, everybody in this room was there for them. So as long as the players were constantly the focus, then it made everything else really easy. It really did.
Last question in the back. Somebody have a right there.
Earlier in the week, your dad, coach, said be true to yourself. After this first game, do you think you did that?
I did. I think I did. You know, he's referring to what my dad told me when I first got named the interim head coach here at Georgia. He said, you know, you got to that point just by being yourself. So don't try to be Mark Richt. Don't try to be any of these other successful coaches that are out there in college football. Just be Brian, and just do the job that you know your way. You know, kind of what you think is right, because that's how you got to that point. And these guys can tell you that I was me. These guys can tell you out there practice, and you know, so, you know, kind of even I may have said the same message, but maybe not the exact same way Coach Rick would have said some things, you know, to the team. But I thought I did.
That's it. Congratulations, Georgia 2016 Tech Slayer Bowl champions.
Thank you.